When you're growing in business, and now I run, a $10 million restaurant, you can't play those games.
In the moments that you felt misaligned, what have you done to align yourself, and how can someone else do that?
But the real purpose is when I get to cook for these patients and families, having been there as well. I've been in like the darkest places where you're like, this is so heavy. How can I'm crying every night because I've missed my sister as an example. How am I gonna be thinking of creating tomorrow night's special? I was put into a cooking class by mistake junior year of high school, and I faced a whole year of losing my best friend right in front of me.
What would you tell someone afraid to start?
Being a woman, you face even more.
What parts of you had to be broken to become who you are?
The mom part is the best part of my whole life. It really is. How do I do this without saying names? How can I be vague? People are just here. They're right here and they're not looking at each other.
It's the no that had to be said to open the door to the yeses that were going to fulfill you and give you joy.
Correct. But it was just making so much money. It was so much money that it was ridiculous.
What was the version of you that felt misaligned?
They won't know, the 180 days that it took in photo shoots, while taking care of a baby, I was losing Bruce at the time. So I was like running to the hospital, the cookbook.
What truth about yourself took you the longest to accept?
And in the moment when you're feeling the most pain, you think it's never going to be over, and you think, and my answer was yes. I'm like, take everything away, but
Wow.
the next level of your life demands, and it deserves the next level of you.
In your hardest season, what did you have to become to keep going? Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm Arlyn Broche, and this space is about depth, it's about truth, it's about the stories we don't always say out loud, but we all have within us. Today I'm so excited because I am welcoming a vibrant force in the culinary scene. She, from building her restaurants, including her beloved Kendall location, which I had the pleasure of visiting myself, she has created bold, unforgettable flavors that have carved a name rooted in passion and resilience. She's the voice behind Maximum Flavor Podcast, which is, about food meeting life and depth meeting experience. Beyond her work, she is a mother, and she is a woman who has faced many challenges, but she continues to evolve, not just as a chef, but as a soul. I welcome Chef Adrianne Calvo.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, Arlyn. Wow, congratulations. This is amazing.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored that you're here. Honestly, when you accepted to come on, I was beyond myself. I was like, oh my gosh, so excited.
No, I thought this is wonderful. The fact that you're peeling back the onion and going deep, it's something that the world needs.
I thank you. Thank you for being here. You look fabulous, by the way. I
so
feel like
you.
I was on your podcast like 2 years ago, and I feel like you look younger today than you did.
No, but thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'm gonna jump right in because I definitely want to, you to talk more about you and talk about the woman behind this empire that you built.
Oh my gosh.
So inspiring, such an inspiring story. I want to know, before you became Chef Adrianne, before the restaurants, before the recognition, who was that young girl at home?
The young girl at home was, I think I wasn't a nerd per se, but I think I was nerdy for sure. I had my group of friends. I was obsessed with food at the time, but I didn't really know it. I was just really curious about, my mom's a great cook, and so is my grandmother. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I come from that type of family. I mean, thank the good Lord for that. But my mom and my grandmother both cooked every day of the week. So I would come home from school, and instead of wanting to play outside or play video games or play with toys, I wanted to watch them cook.
Oh,
And then
wow.
when I wasn't watching them cook, I was watching either Food Network, or there was this funny, not funny, but I guess real intricate educational show called Great Chefs of the World. So here was 10-year-old Adri watching the Discovery Channel, wanting to in translation, because Great Chefs of the World would speak in Turkish or German or whatever. And I was watching that, and I realized later on that I was really in love with food. That was the
Oh my
beginning of
gosh.
it all.
So you would say cooking, it was a passion, it was an expression, or it was something deeper?
I don't know. For me now, food is like almost everything. It's tethered to like everything. Whether I'm traveling, it comes back to food. If I'm having a conversation, it comes back to food. If I'm trying to feed my son now, it comes back to like, what am I feeding him today, tomorrow, next month? If I'm creating my next cookbook, it's about food. So all of my conversations, I think are around food, but I think that that's part of the human experience. It doesn't have to be like, that's my lane, but I'm sure maybe right now you're making dinner plans somewhere, right? Like it's something, or maybe for this week, if it's not today, but you're probably like, where are me and babe going?
Yeah, we're going to go to Chef Adrianne's.
Thank you. But,
Do you feel that becoming a chef was your purpose? I mean, did it become your purpose through your journey?
I don't know if being a chef was my purpose, but I believe that God gives us these gifts, right? And it's our job to like, with the gifts that he gives us to, I guess, use them to serve this world, to serve each other. And so my greatest purpose, I think, has been being the culinary ambassador at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So while, building, restaurants and cookbooks and product lines, yeah, that's great. Cool story, bro. But the real purpose is when I get to cook for these patients and families and then have an impact on their life. That's purpose. So that's using your gift or your craft for a purpose.
That hits really close to home because you had a very impactful experience with your sister, and and that was something that really tied into your journey and one of your missions, right?
Absolutely. I am the founder of the Make It Count Foundation, and that was inspired by my late sister. She died of a rare cancer.
I'm so sorry.
It's life. Thank you. So rare cancer of the tongue. So she couldn't eat towards the end. And ironically, I lost my best friend, Bruce, this past November to another rare cancer. And he was the general manager of the whole brand of Maximum Flavor. So it's like, let me just remind you of your purpose here type of thing. So, for me, like the journey has been using craft, your voice, your platform for a greater good, for awareness.
Absolutely. I believe in that too. Do you believe that there was a defining moment in your life that your path changed forever?
Yes, I do believe that. And I called that moment the lightning strike for me in my life.
Oh, wow.
I
love that term.
The lightning strike. I think we all have a lightning strike. Sometimes it's later in life, sometimes it's early, you never know. But for me, I wanted to go into journalism. I wanted to tell stories my whole life. So I used to do the morning announcements in middle school and high school. And I was, I took AP literature. I was an English major, scholarships lined up and all of that. And I was put into a cooking class by mistake junior year of high school. I was all upset. I was like, oh, this is horrible. All my friends are...
It was meant to be.
And it was meant to be. Johnson & Wales University comes in while I'm waiting to change my schedule, okay?
Oh, wow.
They come in and do this demo, and they make a stuffed French toast. And all of a sudden, it was like, for me, it was alchemy. I was like, whoa, this is magic right in front of me. I had tunnel vision. Everybody was talking amongst themselves, ignoring this demo. And these chefs doing this demo, for me, was like, oh, wow. And from that moment on, that was the lightning strike. I said, I just want to cook for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh, that is the coolest story.
That was it.
All right, so in your hardest season, what did you have to become to keep going?
Surrendered.
That's powerful.
No, well, I think that everyone's going to have challenges. And sometimes people face challenges that you don't even know they're facing, right? Sometimes they're forward facing, sometimes they're internal, and sometimes the internal ones can be bigger than any outward problem people can have, right? But
Absolutely.
I think being in business, you face so much, and being a woman, you face even more. And for those that don't know, I'm an independent owner. So there is no investor, there is no restaurant group behind
You're
me.
badass.
But with that comes a lot of stress, right? And I've faced a lot of troubling times. The economy, what they call a zigzag economy, a wait and see economy, all these things. And I faced a whole year of losing my best friend right in front of me. And it was
Bruce?
Bruce, exactly. And I was with him every day, and people didn't know. And I had just launched my stream. I had just wrapped up. Well, I was doing my next cookbook that's going to be released now in November.
Congrats.
Oh, thank you. But all this while trying to make it to the hospital every afternoon to be by his side. It was crazy. And then I said, okay, you can't just carry it all. You have, and so every night on my knees praying to God. And that was
makes me so emotional, and you're so inspiring because you have all of this on your plate. You have your business, you're a mom, but you're still such a human.
Oh.
And it just bleeds right through you.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, that is all we are. No matter, I have this belief that no matter what, though, no matter what we do in life or whatever we think is like the most grandiose thing, no one's getting out of here alive, you know. And I think for me, it's the bigger picture. It's okay. So, if my days are short or long, did I leave the world a better place? And I do believe that the only thing we can take with us is our kids to heaven. That's everything else going to stay behind. So let's make an impact.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your podcast, Maximum Flavor, your baby,
My baby.
What was the deeper intention behind it?
Oh, well, connection. I do think, and much like what you're doing here, I think that this world is starving for real connection. The more that we're behind our screens, I think that and you see it in restaurants, you see it in social settings. You might see a party full, maybe thousands of people. I go to galas all the time, and I speak at conferences, but and it's herds of people, but people are just here. They're right here, and they're not looking at each other. And eye contact is seldom. You hardly see that. People will be in conversations in a group, and they're like this. So searching for Maximum Flavor was, hey, let's talk about the last plate of food you had and where you want to go or where you've been. I want to know those stories. And this kind of goes back to me wanting to be a journalist. I don't really care about talking about where I've been, but I'm just so enamored by hearing, let's say you went to Fiji last year. I want to know about your Fiji trip because your excitement for it, I feed off of that. And before you know it, I might be looking up a recipe because I'm just like that energy. I feed off of it. I love it. And that might make it to my menu, or it might make it to a TV appearance that I'm doing, and it all would come from your travel story.
I love it.
Connection.
Connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you want people to feel after experiencing your food or hear you speak?
After...
These are some good questions.
These are great questions. Happy. Just some type of serotonin surge.
Joy.
Exactly.
I love
think
that.
We cook anybody, whether it's a grandmother, your friend, yourself, whatever it is. We cook ultimately to feel joy, whether you're doing it for yourself and you just want to taste something delicious, or you're sharing it with others and you want them to experience something delicious, right? And then that moment together around the table, friends, whatever, you're opening a bottle of wine, you're enjoying yourself, it's joy. That's what it is.
Absolutely. I can totally feel that. When do you feel your soul evolved the most? Not your career, but you, Adrianne.
I think that's evergreen. I think that we're always evolving. I think for me, I don't know, I can tell you there's big moments of impact for sure, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm stretched almost every day. And every day I go back to an experience where I draw upon it to make a decision today, and I'm like, okay, hold on. This happened, so let me learn from that and let me react to this way. So I feel like we're always going somewhere, and I think that's part of life. Like we've never really arrived. I think
It's a journey.
Right?
Journey. Okay, so what's something people don't see about building what you've built?
Everything. Everybody. Right. What's something? No, it's everything. I think that everybody sees the end result, right? So they'll see, like when the cookbook comes out, they'll see the cookbook, and then they'll see a book tour, and they'll see like when you have to make an appearance to sell the book and stuff like that. But they won't know really. I mean, there'll be some behind the scenes and stuff, but they won't know, the 180 days that it took in photo shoots while taking care of a baby, I was losing Bruce at the time. So it was like running to the hospital, the cookbook, the edits, run to the office because you had, as you must know, like with editors, you're going to do 3 or 4 passes before it actually goes to print. Photography is a whole other issue. So, it's like, go, 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 go. And all of a sudden this book comes to life and people think it's like, there it is. A restaurant opens and people walk through your doors and the expectation is through the roof, right? And then they might feel the magic of the evening or not. But it's like, oh my God, okay, it's that moment. But they don't know the 10,000 hours, right?
Yeah, I really love the experience I had, the dining in the dark. And it was so cool because I had never experienced anything like that. And I feel like you offer and you provide such an unique is the word, unique experience to dining. Super fun.
Well, that's part of connection. I feel like when you're put in a scenario or a situation where you're forced to be vulnerable, well, all of a sudden, I mean, we live in such a fast pace, like a day. You're like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to go here. I got to be here for this, for that, right? And all of a sudden you're sitting for 2 hours and you're blindfolded willingly, right? But all of a sudden you're touching things and listening to things because you can't see. So you're going to taste every bit of food like at the 100th degree,
Yeah, your senses, your taste buds are enhanced because your vision
is taken away.
It's taken away.
There's no prejudice. I open every dark dining with a glass of champagne, and I've been doing it like that for the last almost 19 years.
So you're still doing the dark
every month, and it sells out every month. And then, so that glass of champagne comes over at you, and you've seen champagne a million times in your life. But when you see it, when you don't see it, when you're blindfolded, it tastes completely different.
Different.
Bubbles, flavor, everything is completely different.
Okay, so in today's world, what would you tell someone afraid to start?
Do it anyway. And that's almost for anything. You're afraid to start, do it anyway. You're tired, do it anyway. You feel like it's going to go wrong, do it anyway. Because fail forward.
I love that. I love that term, fail forward. Mm-hmm. What do you feel your life is really about? Beyond titles, beyond success?
Oh gosh, I really think it's about the example of grit. And I hate it. I actually don't like it.
Why?
Because it's hard. Like it's that, it sounds cheesy, but resilience. And it's kind of like, have you seen that, like those memes on like TikTok and stuff that it's like, God, please stop making me your strongest soldier. That type of thing. Like,
I'm tired.
Like, come on, I get it.
I don't want to be strong anymore.
Yeah, that. But when I talk to like the younger generation, or sometimes talking to older people, but anybody that comes to me and wants to listen, I just, when I share really what my day-to-day is like and what it does take to, be in front of a camera, then go into a restaurant, then have a meeting, then try to push forward, like the brand and stuff like that. They're like, okay. So everyone will be jealous of what you have at the end, but no one's going to be jealous of what it took to get there. And that's for everyone.
That's for everyone, yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. If it were easy, everyone would do it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. What do you hope people say they feel from you, from meeting you, from knowing you?
I just hope that you walk away and you want to make it count. That's all. In your own lane. Go make it count. Make today, if it's Monday, make it marvelous.
Okay, awesome. So when everything was stripped away, right? Everything was stripped away. How did you figure out what your life is really about? And can someone listening begin to do that for themselves?
Yeah, so for me, because I have faced those days when you're like, well, if everything went away, because we're one moment away from losing everything. And you might feel like you're super protected or whatnot. Some people have that, but you can have everything in the world and one heart attack takes it all away. One car crash takes it all away.
Absolutely.
Things like that. And we're just all one moment away. So if everything went away, would you feel content enough with who you are that you would want to rebuild it? And would you want to rebuild it with the people around you? Would you?
Oh.
And my answer was yes. I'm like, take everything away, but if I have my health and the people that I love around me, let's go. Let's do it again. It doesn't matter.
Wow. How do you stay true to who you are when no one is watching, right? So And what would you tell someone who feels disconnected from themselves right now?
That question is so great, but I don't know how to answer that, because one of the things that, for better or for worse, I've always been myself. Like I've never felt disconnected.
Authenticity.
I've always been.
Authenticity over approval.
There you go. I love that. Even when I didn't know that I was doing it. I mean, my friend would be like, "No, why are you dressed like that?" And I'm like, "Well, because this is me. You should wear this." I'm like, "Well, no, because no." Or why don't you do this trend? It'll get more views. No, because it's not me. And
Find
so,
what you're passionate about.
and stick
Pursue
to it.
that and stick to it.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you answered it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what parts of you had to be broken to become who you are, right? So how can someone turn their own difficult moments into growth instead of staying stuck? What part of you had to be broken to say, what, this person is no longer who I am. This is who I am.
Ooh, okay. So if we're going to talk in regards to, like, for example, business, I've always been very soft. I've always been very afraid to hurt people's feelings or say the truth when the truth had to be said. So I would I would also believe everybody was my friend. So if you were my staff, we kind of grew up together. I opened my first restaurant. I was 22 years old, and my staff was about my age. So we were friends.
Well, you look like you're about like 29, 30.
Girl,
So
42 now. 42 and thriving. But we grew up together. So we would close the restaurant and we'd go out. Earl's was around the corner, so it was like, let's go have drinks after work and this and that. But then when it came down to business, I thought, like, I would always think, this is kind of naive, like, you're my friend, so we're on the same level. I never saw it as I was their boss and they work for me. I thought we were working together.
You were coworkers.
Yeah,
you were partners.
So when things had to be said, I never said them. So I would put my business second, our friendship first, and then once when you're growing in business, and now I run a $10 million restaurant, you can't play those games.
That's impressive.
Well, thank you. But you can't. So that little girl had to step aside. She broke, and you realize that your friends are your friends. You have this little tight group, and that's who they are. And it doesn't matter what you do in life or what you have. They're your friends no matter what. And the rest kind of just come and go. And I've learned that now what has to be said needs to be said
For growth, for everything.
Yeah. So I did have to break soft Adri and turn into business Adri.
Oh, wow.
The next level of your life demands, and it deserves, the next level you.
Absolutely. Wow, those are strong words. I can feel that. Yeah. Okay, so when people experience you, your work, your energy, what do you think, like, what does someone have to do to become more intentional about the energy they bring into a room, right? So you're very present. I notice that you're a very present person. You're very passionate. You put a lot of love and a lot of heart into what you do. You can see it from your dark dining experience, from your podcast, all those things, and that's very inspiring. What does the common day person have to do to bring that intentionality and that energy to the table? Because it takes somebody special.
No, find yourself. And I know that's so broad, but just find what you love. And then so if you find what you love, the rest is just going to funnel through. It's going to, how they say, don't chase money, chase what you love, because the money's going to come.
Yes.
It's kind of like, that's what it is. So if you love, let's say you love fashion as an example, chase fashion. Put everything you have into it, all your energy, study it, go travel the world in search of fashion, look at others, adopt best practices from people in fashion, be so encompassed by the whole fashion world, and you're going to be the best. And then when you become the best, you're going to be, everything that you do in that world is going to be intentional, because there's no other way.
I'm a true believer that we all have our unique footprint, and there's nobody else in the world like us. So if we're like you, there's no one else. There's no one like me. And I truly believe that what you bring to the table is special and unique, very different to what someone else brings. So I agree with you. I think that's some great advice.
No.
What was the version of you that felt misaligned? What steps did you take to realign that someone else could also take? So this is Adrianne Calvo, right?
Uh-huh.
You're sitting here. You've had all these life experiences. You've had all this success. You're a mom. You've filled all the slots, right? The ideal kind of life balance, work-life balance. You know, you've worked really hard to get there. In the moments that you felt misaligned, what have you done to align yourself, and how can someone else do that?
Oof. Okay. How do I do this without saying names? How can I be vague? Let's be vague.
Or have fun with it. You know, you can say, she's like, and I'm done.
I was given a wonderful opportunity to do a big project, and it was a big step forward for me. It was a big step outside of my comfort zone, and this was and this was a restaurant, by the way, but
Oh, wow.
this was big step, and it was started off wonderful, and then it wasn't wonderful for a while, but it was just making so much money. It was so much money that it was ridiculous, the amount of money in a short time. But with that came a lot of pressure. And I was asked to change, what made the restaurant successful and special. And that didn't sit right with me, because coming from someone who's made their own money and
Again, back to authenticity.
yes. And so it was me is what was hanging in the balance. So I was like, no, I need to be true to myself and the experience that I give to my guests. It matters to me. It still matters to me now. I mean, this month we're going to turn 19 years at Chef Adrianne's.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you. So it mattered to me 19 years ago. It matters to me now what they experience when they speak to my host team. Like, welcome to Chef Adrianne's. If they use a specific tone, it matters to me.
So you say you felt misaligned with that venture?
Yeah, that whole venture.
And so
I stepped away.
you stepped away.
Nobody in their right mind would step away. Like,
it's the no that had to be said to open the door to the yeses that we're going to fulfill you and give you joy.
correct. Yes. So I was like, well, if I'm going to remove myself from this very lucrative opportunity that doesn't align with my soul, with who I am and what I have built, my career, my personality, everything that I am to my core, and what I believe God created me to be, So if I couldn't be my full authentic self and provide the experience that I know how to provide for my guests, well, I'm going to walk away from this. And I really, by the way, sounds confident and all now, but it was a very scary thing to step away and be
sure.
like, oh my God, did I make the wrong decision? Oh no, this is
Let me tell you, it takes a very brave person also to have a business, to have a grounded nervous system to say, okay, I'm going to say no, I'm going to make these decisions, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're very brave.
No, I mean, no, I'm not brave.
I feel that you are.
Thank you. No, I'm somebody that doesn't like to second guess. You make your decision and then you stick to it, and then and if it's wrong though, because we'll all make wrong decisions, then we're going to learn. So we're going to win or we're going to learn. That's it.
And then we win learning.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, then, there I walked away, and then I was happy because I came back to who I was, and it was the right decision.
I love that. I love that so much.
Thank you.
Where do you feel most like yourself? And how can someone create more of that space in their own life?
I feel the most myself when I'm in a kitchen. Like, it doesn't have to be my home kitchen, but I love my home kitchen, and I designed my home kitchen to where I have this giant island that is also, and it's attached to my dining room and stuff like that purposefully, so I can cook and watch and entertain all at the same time. And these days there's a pack and play there now, but I want to be cooking and serving you and be in the conversation. And I guess that kind of goes back to when you say you want to be present. Yeah, I want to be serving you, but I want to be present in the experience, and that's when I feel the most me, the happiest.
I love that. I love that. What truth about yourself took you the longest to accept? And how did accepting it change your life?
Longest to accept.
What truth about yourself took the longest to accept? Like what?
That I'm not a good communicator. No. I am a chaos, creator.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I draw up ideas and then I set goals for myself.
You create stories.
And
I think we all create stories.
stories, no, I mean things that I want to do. And then I have my team and I'm like, okay, let's go. And I feel like in my head, I gave you all the details and the know-how, but I just gave you maybe like an overarching idea and let's go and let's have this done by June, right? But I didn't give you the million intricacies that were in my head. And then I might get disappointed in June when you didn't deliver. And then they'll be like, but you didn't say that. But you never said that. If you would have said that, we wouldn't,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've been trying to work on that.
So specificity, I think, is like the lesson.
Specificity. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so looking back, do you feel like your hardest moments were happening to you or for you? And can someone reframe their struggles to help them grow?
Well, I hate to say something happens to me, or to you. I love to say for you. And that's because of my faith. I do believe that God will turn anything that happens.
I love that you're saying this.
No. God will turn anything to work in your, for your good, and I do believe God is good all the time. So.
Wow. What did pain teach you that success never could? How can someone use their pain as a teacher and move forward as opposed to holding them back? So like pain and purpose, right?
Yeah, pain. We're going to always be motivated by pain, or success doesn't teach anything.
Do you feel that pain is the true motivator?
Correct. Pain will drive you, and it can drive you to do negative things too. But hopefully it always drives you to do something successful, right?
Yes.
But success doesn't teach us anything.
But it's also
there.
creating the mindset, right? So you understand that because you've been through so many, hurdles in your life, and you've overcome them, and you've learned from them, and you've grown. But how does someone that is either younger or hasn't been through so much, that has maybe lived in a bubble, have that type of mental fortitude?
Just know that it doesn't last forever.
Oh, wow.
And you might feel like it does. And in the moment when you're feeling the most pain, you think it's never going to be over, and you think that's your reality, but it's not. You're the same way that I say you're one moment away from losing everything. You're also one moment away from turning the corner, from your breakthrough. You're always it's almost there.
That's really, really deep, because I can relate to that, because when I got divorced after many years, I also had that transition. I was like, oh my gosh, am I always going to feel like this? It was a big life transition, and it was understanding, okay, this moment is going to pass, and a new horizon is going to come. And so, it seems very cliche and whatever, but it's not.
It's not. And I say that having been there as well. I've been in the darkest places where you're like, this is so heavy. How can I'm crying every night because I've missed my sister, as an example. How am I going to be thinking of creating tomorrow night's special, for the restaurant, a new dish? And
did she ever work with you in the restaurants?
No. I opened my restaurant 6 months after she passed.
Oh, wow.
But it was really tough. And then you think that that's going to loom over you. It's like this heavy weight that you can't lift, you can't shake it, but time heals, and you're just one step away from your breakthrough.
Right. So evolution and growth. And I had all these questions because I feel like you're such a deep person. And I think, I was like, I was like, there's no way that I'm not going to sit with her and not ask her all these questions, because you've been through so much, and really, your story inspires me so much.
Thank
I
you.
watch you, and I'm like, I watch your podcast, and I'm like, look what she's doing, and look how she's traveling, and look at all these things, and she's a mom now, and I'm so proud of you. I just wanted to say that.
Oh my gosh. The mom part is the best part of my whole life. It really is.
It changed you.
Yeah. Now I get it. When people are like, no, just wait till you're a mom. And for me, I thought that was far away, because I'm like, I don't know. When you're in business, you never find that perfect pocket of time. But one day I was like, I'm not waiting for perfect. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. And he's the best.
Oh, Aspen.
Aspen.
I love that name. It's so beautiful.
Aspen is my favorite place.
Aspen Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Aspen,
I've seen it. I've seen him on the stories.
my favorite place. And when he was born, I said, "You're my favorite place now." So that's why his name is Aspen. And Jeremiah, I have these guests of the restaurant who everything that I did throughout the trajectory of my career, they would send me a DM. Mind you, I've never met them. I don't know who they are. And they would send me Jeremiah 33, like, God has plans for
Oh.
you,
Yes.
that verse.
Yes.
And but for everything. So even if I posted this award or whatever, Jeremiah 33, or I would post cooking, Jeremiah, and believe it or not, I was like, oh my God, this was the plan. Oh my gosh, here he is. So that Aspen Jeremiah.
I love it. I love it. How has your definition of success changed over time? And what would you tell someone who's still chasing the wrong version of success?
Ooh, that's a good one. Success.
So when you started out, so funny thing, I think I told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
I went years ago. I don't even know when it was. You had just opened your restaurant. I think it was way back in 150 something.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's the first one. Yes.
The first one ever.
Uh-huh.
And I went with a group of friends, and I was married at the time to my ex-husband. And you came to the table, and you were so nice and so kind. And I remember saying, wow, this food is amazing. And you kept growing, right? And so I imagine when you first started out your career, you had a vision or an idea of success. How has that changed over time? And how would you tell someone who's still chasing the wrong version of success, or what you would think was the wrong version of success?
So it's funny because when I graduated culinary school, my goal was to work for Chef Michelle Bernstein. That was my life goal. If I ever got to work for her, I was done. Like, pack your bags, Adri. You're the most successful chef ever. That was it. And then when I was able to, I sold my first cookbook on the very last episode of a talk show. And
How many cookbooks do you have?
Well, this will be my 7th cookbook.
Wow.
Yeah, the one that's coming out in
7?
November 7. Yeah, but my first one sold. Montel Williams was about to retire. It was his very last episode. He holds my cookbook in the air and goes, "You have to buy this book." Back then, people actually bought cookbooks because they saw him on TV. So thanks to him, I was able to open my very first restaurant. Fast forward to me, then at that point, opening my restaurant was the definition of success. Now, we make it to 5 years, and I opened it. It was the recession of 2008. So now the country crashes.
Oh, wow.
People lost jobs. It was nuts. So how does a 22-year-old with no business experience?
Because you opened that restaurant at 22.
I was 22. No business acumen whatsoever. And I don't come from restaurateurs or anything. My family doesn't have businesses or restaurants, nothing. So it was like the wild, wild west for real. Everybody following a heartbroken 22-year-old. That's it. With a band of misfits, because the people I hired.
When you
again,
say
were my-
heartbroken, you were heartbroken in relationships?
my sister
Oh,
had
your
just
sister.
passed.
Okay.
She had just passed.
Yeah,
So
that's right. You said she did.
and then I hire a bunch of young people. So nobody, to guide me either. So it was a band of misfits. But somehow
So you were a pioneer in your own space.
doing new American cuisine in an unassuming part of the suburbs of Miami. Not even in like a hot spot. In a shopping strip, doing new American like farm to table food when Miami hadn't even heard of that. I was nuts.
Wow.
Ripped apart by the newspapers, both Miami New Times and the
Ripped apart. Why?
Oh, because they wrote articles about me when I came. No, look at this chef. Oh yeah, without even giving a shot, I was torn down. Oh yeah, because they're like, who does she think she is? She'll be closed in 8 weeks. 5 years later, we make it to best restaurant in Miami, because again, God is good all the time. Yeah, and fast forward so then that was success. That I felt vindicated after 5 years. That was success for me then. Then more cookbooks come, and then I became an author. So I kind of fulfilled that journalist thing in me. Okay, check, that was success for me. Then I was able to become executive producer of my travel show and make money off of that. More
Maximum
cookbooks.
Flavor.
Searching for Maximum Flavor.
Searching for Maximum Flavor.
So then after the travel show came the podcast, and I was executive producer of that too. So I wrote the show, produced the show, hosted the show. So I was like, hey, that's success. And then success became like, okay, if you take everything away, are you happy with who you are? And I was like, yeah, because I've been able to share my entire career, no matter what I did, I've shared it with the people I love. What, like, people don't know this, but whenever I have like a contract, people ask, well, what's your rider? What, what are your demands? And I'd rather take less money, but I take my family with me wherever I'm going.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't know if that's the last one, the last moment. So, like, God willing, I'll be doing a residency in Turks and Caicos.
Oh my gosh, when?
A luxury resort in June 6th, starts June 6th. And
so you're going to be gone for a little bit?
For a little bit, yeah. But so I said,
But you're taking...
everybody, mom, dad, husband, baby, everybody's going.
I love that. It's such an exciting chapter.
And that's success.
I feel like I can relate to you in the sense that I love to build things, right? Especially a life worth remembering.
Yes, I love that.
And so it's like, I hear you building like the podcast and the restaurants and the stuff. And it's like, for me, that's so exciting because you're building projects and you're creating opportunities and experiences and all of that. So I love that. You're so inspiring.
Oh, no.
So if someone feels unseen or misunderstood, what would you want them to know about finding their voice and owning who they are? Like, did you
That
ever
they matter.
Okay.
That's it. They have to know that they matter, because if they feel like they matter, or they know that they matter, they're going to muster up that courage to talk to somebody. And more often than not, if you have that courage to talk to somebody and you offer them your authentic self and you come at them broken, surrendered, and who you are, sometimes, more often than not, people are going to be gentle with it. And then you're going to feel seen. They're going to come at you with compassion and empathy. And instead of holding it in or being something that you're not or being fake to the world, just come how you are and muster up that courage, because you matter. That's what I would say.
Wow. Thank you.
Mm.
And so at the end of your life, what matters most that people felt from you? And how can someone start living in a way that creates that feeling today?
Again, make it count. My life's mission is make it count in every possible way, in every vertical of your life. Like, today, if you're going, let's say you're going around the corner to CVS, and you could take out a little shopping cart for an elderly person, do it because you made it count for them. You can send flowers across the country because you have a friend that moved to California. You just thought of them. Send them sunflowers and say, hey, I thought of you. And then book that trip with the cousin you haven't seen in 30 years. Do it. Make it count.
And what do you think your life's purpose is today?
It's funny. So this week I'll be going to my first meeting. I'm on the board of advisors for St. Jude. Never in a million years would I think that I could be on culinary schools advisory board. I have served many boards, but not for St. Jude. And my life has taken me here now. So we're going to be talking about how the next generation of people want to give back and how they're touched by this cause. And, they say Gen Z, Alpha, Beta, they're not going to know about coming together for a greater good because they're in front of screens all the time. So how are they going to want to come together in a party, for example, and fundraise for those that need it? So now we're going to be brainstorming.
So awareness, connection, joy, human experience.
Human experience. Yeah.
I love you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you
so much.
Oh my gosh.
I have a little surprise for you.
You have a surprise.
I don't want to blindfold you, but I do want to blindfold you.
Oh my God. No, I brought this on to myself. No ways. You're hilarious. No.
So, the chef did prepare something, and I kind of wanted you to see your chef. So I think you would, whatever, but.
I love it. So I said, you're a blast. You're just too funny. Okay.
Wait.
I can't see it. Okay. No.
Okay, so can you close your eyes? Should I blindfold you? Will you cheat?
I'm not going to cheat. Look, you can see me.
Okay, so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to put it in front of you.
Okay.
You're going to grab it. Don't cheat, please. And so, okay, the plate is in front of you.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Feel the plate.
I feel the... And I can't believe I do this to people. Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you want to like put your hands over the plate. Touch the
Over the plate.
over the plate. Down, 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 down. Touch the food. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What part of it?
Something is wiggly.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it?
I don't believe you. We're going to talk after this.
What does it feel like? What does it provoke? And
Okay, this
All
is
right.
a singular thing now. Can I grab this?
Yes, you can grab that.
Okay.
All right, you can put it. Okay, smell it.
Oh, God.
I never thought I would be doing this, sir.
I can't believe this.
And I love that you're being true. You're not, cheating. So you can touch it, you can taste it, and you want to put it in your mouth. Tiene una servilleta.
It's a pastry shell for sure.
Okay.
Puff pastry.
Yes.
It's savory.
Okay.
Is it chicken salad? No.
It's like a crab salad, yes,
Oh.
and a puff pastry with
Okay.
avocado and cilantro.
Delicious.
Do you want to
Thank
see
you.
it? Enséñaselo.
Let me see it's what I imagine. A beautiful appetizer. Very pretty. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
So
Fancy.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you something to drink, and you can tell me what you think. Well, I think we kind of cheated at the beginning.
Well, yeah, we cheated in the beginning.
Un juguito.
But that's one of my favorite flavor profiles, I will say. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
No, to you.
To friendship, to love, to joy, and to
All the things you bring.
the things you bring.
No.
You're such a positive light in this world.